students, welcome you all on Engineers Career Point. My dear students, if you are from the third year or the final year, and if you are from the computer science branch, as your semester exam is over, and if you want to start your preparation for GATE 2024, then it's the right time. So in this video, we are discussing about the plan for the next 7 months, how you can start, from which subject you can start, how many days you have to give to a particular subjects, and how to start the preparation for the test series, how you have to attempt the test series, PYQ and all these stuffs. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the detailed scenario or the detailed plan of the next 7 months, so that you can crack the GATE with an AIR of single digit or the double digit. Fine. So my dear students, this side Mukesh. So I am the mentor of CSC department in Engineers Career Point, which is located in Chandigarh. So my dear students, as a computer science students, we know that if you talk about the GATE syllabus, in GATE syllabus we have approximate 11 to 12 subjects. So talk about the first subject, that is programming and data structure. Second, we go with algorithm. Third one, we go with DBMS. Fourth one, operating system. Fifth one, CN. Sixth one, COA. Next one, digital. Eighth one, discrete math. Ninth one, engineering math. 10th one, TOC. Then I just add compiler. In syllabus we have compiler as a new subject. Then 11 we have quant, or I can say FT reasoning, and 12th is English. So my dear students, these are the subjects in our GATE syllabus for a computer science students. So now today is 1st of July. Fine, today is 1st of July. So we have approximate 7 months, dedicated 7 months. So what GATE required from your side? First point, dedication. Second point, hard work. And the third and the most important point is consistency. If you just spend 4 hours, or I can say 4 to 5 hours, 2.5 hour morning session, 2.5 hour evening session, I can guarantee you that that is more than sufficient to crack GATE 2024 with a good GATE score. Fine. So how we can start our preparation? It's a great dilemma in the student community. So my dear students, so if we talk about the weightage, fine. See, first the weightage. The weightage of these two subjects is approximate 20 to 22 marks. Fine. It may vary, but I can giving, with the past experience, I am giving you some detailed analysis of the subject weightage. If we talk about the DBMS, we can 7 to 8 marks. OS 6 to 7 marks, CN 9 to 10 marks, COA 9 to 10 marks, digital 4 to 5 marks, discrete math again we have 7 to 8 marks, engineering math 5 marks, or even the whole this part they are saying that they just give for 15 marks from that. Okay, TOC compiler again 9 to 10 marks. Quant and English part 15 marks, 15. Fine. That is the total weightage of each and every subjects. So today is 1st July. So my dear students, if we talk about your preparation, so how you can start? See, each student has its own preparation strategy. But according to me, what I am suggesting you, like in engineering math, talk about, first we talk about the engineering math, English and FT and reasoning part. Fine. So we are discussing about first the engineering math, and then aptitude and reasoning, or English. I can say quant, FT, reasoning plus English. So if we talk about the weightage, so in engineering maths we have like I just include the discrete math also. Fine. But if we talk about this part, it is standard of 15 marks. It's a separate part of 15 marks. Fine, 15 marks. So now student have a dilemma, sir, how we can start with our this journey, aptitude and English journey. Fine. So we have two different approaches. Either you can just spend a whole month for this aptitude and English, or you can do one thing which I advise to you is just spend 1 hour a day. So right now we have 7 months, it means 7 into 30. We have 210 days, and if you just spend 1 hour, it means approximately we have 210 hour, or I can approximate it 200 hour. So I can say 200 hour is more than sufficient for these 15 marks. But what's the problem with the student community is they just take it as a like they, as an engineer student, their thought is like, yeah, we are a bit comfortable with the FT and English, no need to prepare for that part. So in that way they just scored out of 15, they just scored 8 or 9 marks. Fine. It means they lose approximately 7 to 8 marks in this area, and that play a major role. Keep in mind, my dear students. So don't take it like informal way. You have to strictly follow the schedule. You have to strictly take it as a serious subject for FT and English part, and you have to score at least 14 out of 15. I'm suggesting you and I'm advising you that at least you have to score 14 marks from the 15 marks, because that is very easy part. We have to not cover the syllabus up to the CGL level, that is common graduate level test for SSC. Fine. You have to just go with the basics, and then with that you can cover and you can easily achieve these 15 marks. Fine. So my suggestion is give 1 hour every day, 1 hour every day for FT and English part. Moving towards the engineering mathematics part. So my dear students, see, in engineering mathematics, first chapter is linear algebra, that is matrices. Fine. And if we talk about the weightage, it is of 2 marks, minimum 2 marks from this area. Fine. Second chapter is like even PNC is the part of discrete mathematics, but I'm just including here PNC first part, and second is probe and statics. Fine. The point is, if we talk about the PNC probe part, so sometimes you directly get a questions like how many number of ways, these type of problems, or what is the probability. But sometimes you get a question where we can use the concept of PNC and probe in DBMS, OS, CN, COA, algorithm in each and every field. Fine. So again, my concern is that yes, you have been a good command on this topic, PNC probe part. Fine. So second part is this one. Talk about the third part. We have like differentiability, then minima maxima, minima and maxima, mean value theorem, limit, continuity. Fine. This part. So if we talk about the engineering mathematics part, this is a syllabus. So if we talk about how much time we have to dedicate it to this topic. So my dear students, if you just spend, I can say if you just spend like 1 hour every day, 1 hour every day for this engineering mathematics. So I can assure you that like 60 hours, even though 60 hours is more than sufficient, but within that 2 months, if every day you just give 1 hour, then that is more than sufficient for you. Fine, my dear students. Even you not give the 1 hour, half an hour is more than sufficient, means that this part is maximum of 30 to 35 hour courses. Fine. If you just one day 30 minutes, one day 45 minutes, next day if you are a bit free, then you just on Saturday and Sunday you can give more time here. So in this way you just cover this area, and from this area if I talk about the weightage, so the weightage of linear algebra 2 marks, PNC probe, so I can just say 1 marks, differentiability minima maxima 1 to 2 marks. Fine, my dear students, or here also 1 to 2 marks. So overall the weightage is 5 marks only. From the engineering mathematics part, I am not including the discrete mathematics, keep in mind. Fine. So why I discuss first these two subjects is because you have to start these two subjects parallel. Fine, no need to give 15 days for FT and English, 15 days for engineering mathematics, because you like if you just take a engineering mathematics first now and for the whole day it's like cumbersome. We cannot like solve the or spend 4 to 5 hours on engineering mathematics only. If you have that much patience, or if you are that much dedication, then you can start just take the 10 days or 12 days for engineering mathematics only. But my suggestion is give 1 hour every day for aptitude and English part, 1 hour for engineering and mathematics parts. So if we talk about the aptitude and English part, just follow RS Agarwal, that is more than sufficient. And if we talk about the engineering mathematics, then linear for P and C, especially for P and C, I can say you can start from the +1 or +2 standard book, and if you are a bit comfortable with that, then go with the IIT JEE problems. Fine, that is more than sufficient to learn the basics of engineering mathematics. Fine, my dear students. So I can say you have to start two subjects parallel. Now, as you spend almost 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours for aptitude and English part, fine, every day. Now from the 1st of July, as today is 1st of July, so you can start any subject. But my advice is, like, as a computer science students, you are bit comfortable with programming, data structure or algorithm, or I can see you are a bit comfortable with database management system or operating system. So you can start with any subject, but my point is you can start with the data structure, or I can say algorithm part first. Fine. Now I just give you the total time or total days you have to spend on a particular topic or particular subjects. Accordingly you can adjust, like you can start with the algorithm first or the OS first. Fine. So let's start with the programming and data structure part. Programming plus data structure. Fine. So if we talk about the programming, as you know, you are a bit comfortable with for loop or loop, or I can just write the loop. You just bit comfortable with the keyword, the variables. Fine. But the point is you have to little bit like spend time on pointer concept. You can refer any book. Then you have to just spend time on structure. Even though union and enum is not that much important, but if you want to just take a reading, just spend half an hour, that is more than sufficient for union and enum. So my dear students, if we start with the first point, 1 day is sufficient for here, 1 day. Again for structure 1 day is sufficient, and for these two 1 day is sufficient. It means within the 3 days you are bit comfortable with how loop executes, what's the concept of pointer, structure, union and enum. So I can say for programming you have to spend 3 days, that is more than sufficient. Now moving on the data structure part, that is little bit lengthy subject. So in data structure we are going to read array, we have stack, we have queue, we have linked list, we have graph and tree. Fine. So if you want to spend some time on this, so how you can spend? So in array we have 1D array, 2D array, 3D array. Fine. That is more important. That is, even though array we can know that what is array, we know the basics of array, but still you have to know how to fetch a particular element, how to find out the location with the help of pointers. So my dear students, if you want to go with the data structure part, then you must comfortable with the pointer first, then only you just move on the data structure part. So if we talk about the array, so it will take 2 days. For stack again 2 days, because we have many applications of stack. For queue 1 day is sufficient. For linked list again 2 days. For graph 1 day. For tree 1 day. So I think how much days it will take? 2 plus 2 4, 1 5, 7, 8, 9, and 9 and 3 12 days. So overall I can say this will take 12 days. Fine. Plus 3 days for PYQ and practice. Even though you are parallelly do the get easy problems, whenever you are just go with the array, stack, queue, linked list. So how many days? 15 days. That is more than sufficient for programming and data structure part. Fine, my dear students. So from the 1st July to 15th of July, you just cover programming and data structure. Parallelly, you have to spend 1 hour for English and FT, half an hour or 45 minutes for engineering mathematics. Fine. Now from 16th onwards, 16th of July, you have to start algorithm. In algorithm, we have some chapter. First is introduction, and where we just go with time and space complexity. Fine, and hardly it will take 2 days. That is more than sufficient to learn the time and space complexity, including master theorem. Next, we have divide and conquer technique. Now it's a big chapter. In divide and conquer technique, we are just learning the searching, the different type of sorting, and some applications of divide and conquer technique. So in this chapter, you just learn quick sort, merge sort, like heap sort, bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort, radix sort, counting sort, all this stuff. Fine. With that, we have some other applications of DAX. So I can say you just spend 5 days. That is more than sufficient to learn each and every concept of divide and conquer. Next is greedy technique. In greedy, we have the 2 most important topic. One is spanning tree, one is Dijkastra algorithm, and one is Huffman coding. Fine, that is more important. So you have to spend like 3 days is more than sufficient for greedy. Again, in dynamic technique, we have like LCS. One is important is LCS, then one is MCM, also very important. One is 01 knapsack, then one is Fibonacci series and some other Floyd Warshall. Then we have Bellman Ford also. Okay, so I am just giving you 3 days here. That is more, because if you just go with 2 applications every day, then we have hardly 7 to 8 applications. So 3 days is more than sufficient. So I can say 5 plus 2 7 plus 30 plus 3 13 days. 13 days plus 2 days for PYQ and practice. So it is almost 15 days. So still we have 1 more day, because July is of 31 days we have. So if we talk about the total marks in July, how much marks we covered in July? So programming, data structure and algo, this is approximate of 20 to 20 marks. Fine. So you have to spend, or you have to get this 20 to 22 marks just by putting an effort of 5 hours, or I can say 4.5 to 5 hours a day. That is more than sufficient. Fine, my dear students. So within the July, that is the scenario for July. In July, your task is to cover programming, data structure, algorithm, some part of the aptitude, some part of the English, and some part of the engineering mathematics. Fine. So we are not just considering the weightage of those particular subject like English, aptitude, and the engineering maths. So I am just considering you just achieved 20 to 20 marks, including PYQ, including practice. Fine. Moving on the next month, that is August. So now you can start any subject. So we have TOC compiler, we have operating system, we have database management system, C and COA or digital. Fine. So now again you just start with the easy subject. So I just divide the August in 2 parts. One is OS and one is DBMS. Fine. If we have some day left out, then again we go add on some other subjects. So if we talk about the OS. So in OS, the first important part is CPU scheduling. So it will take 2 days, because in CPU scheduling we have first come first serve, SJF, round robin, feedback queue, longest job, so priority scheduling, all this stuff. So you have to solve at least 3 to 4 problems of each and every scheduling. So hardly it will take 2 days. Fine. Now the next part is we have to go with, second is deadlock. So deadlock is a small chapter, 1 day is more than sufficient. Next part we have is memory management. So in memory management we just learn paging and segmentation and demand paging. So yes, it will take 3 days. Next, go with file system, which will take hardly 1 day. And the last, the most important part is synchronization, which is little bit complex. So you have to spend 3 days. In this, semaphore is more important. So I can say 3 plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 2 plus 2. Plus 2 is 10 days. 10 days is more than sufficient to prepare for OS. So you have to spend 3 to 3.5 hours a day, and then OS is more than sufficient. Fine, go with the DBMS part. If we go with the DBMS part, first chapter is like, I can say basic introduction. We go with the key part. We go with the normalization part. So mainly normalization is more important, but to cover the normalization we have to cover the key, minimal cover, then we have to go with the canonical cover, or I can say minimization, equivalent of FD set, all these stuffs. So yes, it will take 3 days. Fine. Next, you go with the ER model, a small chapter with foreign key concept. So hardly it will take 3 and 3 to 3.5 hour. So yes, 1 day is more than sufficient. Next, you have to go with indexing. In indexing, yes, we require 2 days, because on the first day you are just go with the basics of indexing, why we use indexing, what are the basic terminology we are using in the indexing, then we have primary index, secondary index and cluster index. Next day you just go with the B tree and B plus tree and some of the previous year questions. Fourth, you just go with relational algebra, like, so yes, it will take 1 day. Next, fifth, SQL, again 1 day. For practice we required 1 more day. Fine, for practice we required 1 more day. Yes, you have to go with 10 problems, 10 to 15 problems of RA and SQL. You can just refer the Raghurama Kirsan solved example as well as unsolved example. You can just find out the solutions of that particular book also, and it's a nice book for RA and SQL, plus TRC also. Next, we have transaction and concurrency control protocol, concurrency control protocol. So it will take approximately 3 days. Even though it will not take 3 days, it's just a 2-day topic, but still you go with the 3 day. So I can say 3 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 8 plus 9 plus 3, 12. So here we just require 12 days. Fine, my dear students. So 12 plus 10, 22 days. Fine. Next, from the 23rd of August, you can go with digital. It's a small subject, weightage is almost 4 to 5 marks. In digital, we have first is K-map, or I can say first we can go with the Boolean algebras, in which we have to just find out or minimize the expressions using the formulas or using the theorems, that is like De Morgan's law, all this stuff. Fine. So it will take 1 day. Next, you go with combinational circuit, you go with sequential circuit, then you go with floating point number system, or I can say just number system. So again 1 day is sufficient, 1 day is sufficient, 1 day is sufficient. For practice 1 more day, so 5 days more than sufficient. Fine. So overall 5 days. So with that I can say 23rd, 4th, 5th, 26th and 27th. From 23rd to 27th of August you just completed digital also. So now we have 4 days left for August. So what you have to do, you have to revise DBMS, OS and digital in these 4 days, or you can just go with the PYQs and practice problems. Fine, my dear students. So I can say at the end of the August, so we just cover C, we cover data structure, we cover algo, we have to cover OS, we have to cover DBMS, we have to cover digital. So if you talk about the weightage, so I can say 20, I can say 7 to 8, again 7 to 8 and again 4 to 5. So it means 7 plus 7, 14 plus 5, 14 plus 4, 18 plus 20. I just consider the minimum. Approximate 28 to 30 marks you covered. Fine. Yes, it's the first revision, or I can say it's just you just start with the your first attempt for OS, DBMS and all this stuff. So we cannot say yes, we just prepare with the 28 to 30 marks, because we have to go with the PYQs, we have to solve the PYQs at least 2 times, then we have to practice the test series, we have to practice some problems, then we have to attempt the test series. Then only you can go with 20 to 30 marks preparation. But still you have to go through all the concept. Till August you just completed, at least you have to go through or just take a reading of all these concept of these subjects. Fine. Now from this September, in the month of September, either you can start with CN, you can start with COA, or you can start with TOC and compiler, because I think, and other than that, that is discrete mathematics. Fine. So I can just start with TOC and compiler, TOC plus compiler. So now if you just start with TOC and compiler, so first start with TOC, because if you know the TOC, then to learn the compiler it's little bit easy for us. Fine. In TOC, the first chapter is finite automata. Like, it's a very big chapter. If you are a bit comfortable with finite automata, then I can say yes, overall the remaining chapters you are a bit comfortable. So in finite automata, I can say you just take 5 days. Fine. Next we have PDA, because in finite automata you have to go with the regular expression, regular grammars, then you have to construct the DFAs, NFAs, converting NFA to DFA, epsilon NFA, then NFA, then DFA. So we have a lot of stuff in finite automata. Fine. Next we have to go with PDA. For PDA 1 day is sufficient. Fine. Or if you just add on 2 days. For Turing machine again 1 day, and next decidability part again 1 day. Fine. So I can say 5 plus 2 7 plus 1 8 plus 9, so almost 10 days. Fine. Go with the compiler. In compiler we have lexical analysis, we have syntax analysis, so it will take 3 days. Remaining is semantic, then code of intermediate code generation, then code optimization, and then is runtime environment. So hardly it will take 2 days, so almost 5 days. So 10 plus 5, I can say 15 days is more than sufficient to take a reading of the whole syllabus of TOC and compiler. Fine, my dear students. So I can say till on from the 1st September to 15th of September you just cover TOC and compiler. Now moving on the next part, from the 16th onwards, 16th of September, either you can go with the discrete part or you can go with CN or COA. Let's start with COA or CN. Okay, just go with computer network. Fine. In computer network, first we have physical layer, that is not that much important. Next we have data link layer, which is important. So just spend 1 day here and 2 days, at least 2 days on data link layer. Then we have network layer, spend 1 day here. Then we have TCP UDP, TCP layer or transport layer, then you just spend 2 days. Again in network layer also we have to spend, I can say just take 2 days. Then we have the last layer, that is application layer, which is very important. So in terms of theory questions where we have to correct the statement, so application layer again just spend 2 days, and then is last is security part. Fine. Again take 1 day. So I can say 2 and 2, so 10 days. Fine. With these 10 days, you just cover CN. So now we have 5 days remaining. Fine. With 5 days, what you have to do? You have to cover or take the revision of TOC plus compiler plus CN. Fine. So you have to take the revision of compiler, CN and TOC. So I can say at the end of the September month, so we are just go with C programming, or I can say C and programming are same, data structure, algo, then DBMS, then OS, then TOC plus compiler, and then I can say CN. So if we talk about the weightage, so 20, 7 to 8, 7 to 8, 9 to 10, CN again 9 to 10. Fine. So 20 plus 14, that is 34, 34 plus 20, 54, or I can say you just cover 50 marks. Fine. And parallelly you are go with the engineering mathematics and aptitude part. Fine. Next. Now you have next month October. Fine. October. In October you have 2 subjects left out, that is COA and one is discrete math. Fine. So if we talk about COA, it is little bit complex subject. So first is basics of COA, where you have to learn about the instruction fetch. So I can say instruction cycle, fetch cycle, go with the basics 1 day. Next, addressing mode, just go with 2 days, because you have to solve the problem of these 2 parts. Then we have control unit chapter, 1 day is sufficient. Then we have pipelining, 2 days minimum required. Memory, again 3 days minimum required. And then we have IO part, again 1 day is sufficient. So I can say 3 plus 1 4 plus 2 6 plus 1 7 plus 1 8 plus 2 10 days. For COA you required 10 days, but you require the time for PYQ and practice, so I just adjust 3 more days, so we require 13 days, or I can say 15 if you want to add or revise again and again. So 15 days is more than sufficient to learn the COA part. Moving towards the discrete part from the 15th or 16th of October. So in discrete, first chapter is, I can say, propositional logic plus first order logic. So it will minimum take 3 days, because you have to refer the Kenneth Rosen book. In CN you can refer Frozen book, which is very important. You must refer that particular book. Okay. Next is set relation function. It will take again 2 days. Next, the part of next relation is partial order and lattice. Again you required 1 day, minimum 1 day. Next you have group theory. In group theory you have to spend 3 days. And next is counting problems based on graph plus tree. So you require 3 days minimum. So I can say 3 plus 3 plus 3 9 plus 2 11 plus 12, again for practice again 15 days. Fine. 15 days is more than sufficient to go with the discrete part, to take a first review or first reading of discrete mathematics. I am not saying you are well prepared with the each and every subject, but my task is to at least you have to go on through the first attempt of each and every subject. Fine. So I can say at the end of the October you have just completed all your subject. We cover CN, COA, DBMS, OS, TOC, compiler, programming, algorithm, discrete math, and parallelly we are just running with the engineering mathematics part as well as English and quant or apti part. Fine. So now I think other than, and even we just completed digital also. So I can say at the end of the October, fine, we have just take a complete one time reading of each and every subjects. Now we left with 90 days, November, December and Jan. So we have 90 days with us. Fine. So what's your strategy for the next 90 days? So if we talk about the revision, so it's a revision session. Fine. just take 3 days for a subject, because maybe you are a bit not comfortable with a particular topic in a particular subject, so you have to go through that particular topic one more time. Fine. So it will take some time, so I can just thinking like 3 days is more than sufficient to revise a subject. Instead of revising, so how you can revise a particular subjects? So you already maintain your notes, go with the notes. Whenever you face any problem, mark that particular topic, then again just go with some tutorial videos or just refer any book. Fine. That is the right choice. So 3 days. So now the point is, suppose how you can divide these 3 days. The point is like, I am just taking an example of algorithm. If you go with the algorithm, on the first day you know that okay, I am a bit comfortable with time complexity, I am a bit comfortable with divide and conquer. Just what you have to do, just revise these 2 topics, fine, in a day, and on the next day you have to attempt test. You have to attempt test which is based on topic test. I am not saying just give a test for the whole algorithm subject. You have to go on with the subject of like topic test. Topic test, first test is based on like time complexity only, 15 or 20 questions of time complexity. Next, divide and conquer, again it is divided into 2 parts again. Fine. So you have to go with the topic wise test in this month. Fine. So in this way, approximate we can cover, or I can say we had a good revision of all the 10 subjects, with all the 10 subjects with at least 30 to 40 tests, because in each and every subject at least we have 4 to 5 topic tests. Fine. If we go with the DBMS, like we have a topic test of query language, RA and SQL and TRC, we have a topic test on transaction and concurrency, we have a topic test on indexing, we have a topic test on normalization. In this way, you have to just start your test series with the topic only. Fine. So I can say in the month of October, or I can say November, not October, in the November you just completed your 1 revision as well as topic test. Now in the month of December, what you have to do? You have to just go with the test series, analyze your test series, plus rectify your errors, practice more and more questions, because according to me and my suggestion is like, go with attempt more and more tests, go with test series, because if we have talk about that December and January, we have 60 days and our target is to attempt at least 60 tests, in which 40 tests, at least 40 tests of subject, that may be of single subject or the combined subject, and at least 20 full tests. Fine. Now how you can divide these full subjects test? Either you can go on Jan and attempt 20 tests, but that is not recommendable. So I think at least you have to go with 3 to 4 tests, full test on month of December, and remaining 15 to 16 tests on alternate days in the month of Jan. With that plan, I can say yes, you are now a bit comfortable, because you just take a one time reading of till October, then 1 revision in the month of November, and then whenever you face any difficulty, go with parallel and take your time in the month of December and Jan, and then rectify your problem. Fine. Or clear your doubts. So my dear students, that's the plan for 7 months. But now the point is, what GATE wants from us? It only wants dedication, passion, and the point is consistency. You are a bit consistent. You have to spend at least 4 or 5 hours. I can say minimum 4 and maximum whatever you can, but at least 4 to 5 hour minimum requirement for each and every day. Because we have right now only 7 months, and with 7 months we have then provide like 4 months for our completion of 1 reading, and then 3 months for test series. Fine. For practice more and more problems. Yes, my dear student, one more point is, like at least you have to solve PYQs 2 times. And the point is, whenever you are solving for PYQs, sometimes we have the problems on which we have to find out the correct statement. Fine. So the point is, I can say you are like good in that particular concept whenever you know which statement is right and why the other statements are wrong. Then only I can say yes, you are a bit comfortable. So my suggestion is, don't try to mark the right options, as well as you have to include why the remaining options are wrong. Fine. Just so don't be panic, okay? Don't take any stress. So is 7 months or 6 months are sufficient or not? Yes, that is like 200 days is more than sufficient to prepare for GATE 2024. But the point is, you have to put the effort. You have to give your 5 or I can say 4 hour, minimum 4 hour in a day. Fine. So my dear students, as we talk about the ECP, so I am the mentor in ECP Engineers Career Point, which is located in Chandigarh. So if you want to start your journey of GATE 2024, you can join us. We have a dedicated team of 5 to 6 members. So which are all the members from the YourPedia team. As you know what is YourPedia. So again, in our package we just included from your start to the preparation to the PGC counseling till the admission. Admission means after GATE, so where you have to apply. Unfortunately, if you like don't get a good score, even your AIR is 10,000 or 8,000, like, or your GATE, you just qualify the GATE, then where you can apply. Fine. There is total counseling. We have separate module for all this stuff, but that part is included in your this module in GATE 2024 module. We just provide you NPTL, because whenever you you just go with the PYQ like answer key of GATE, so which is released by IIT. So in each and every questions, before the each and every questions, we have a NPTL link. Fine, my dear students. So the point is, they just take the reference of that particular video to make that particular questions. So ECP, or I can say YourPedia, have a dedicated book which include almost 1500 questions of NPTL. It's not PYQ of GATE, it's not PYQ of any other resources. They are just dedicated. It is a I can say dedicated book of NPTL lectures. We mentors just watch out the NPTL lectures, fine, and try to make the questions from that particular topic. Even these questions are like the past like assignments of which is given by the NPTL only. Fine. So we just cover that particular book also. We just cover like like I can say 2000 to 3000 practice problems, which excluding PYQ. We just cover the PYQ also. We have theory books, like we have PYQ books, test series, post-GATE counseling. All these stuffs are included in that module. We just started our offline as well as online batches, so you can start your journey of GATE 2024 with Engineers Career Point, which is located in Chandigarh 34. That is Engineers Career Point. Fine, my dear students. So if you have any doubt regarding how to start, how to approach for the GATE 2024, you can contact to ECP Engineers Career Point. And if you like have any query, you can write on the comment section box, or you can just call or contact to ECP. Fine. So that is all about the plan of next 7 months. If you have any doubt, just please contact to us, and if you want to start your journey, please join our batches. So that's fine. Okay. So thank you so much, and good luck for your preparation. Thank you so much.